So there was an order for production of documents which related to board meeting minutes from last year. Who handles that at Housing Australia? The OPDs are directed at the ministers, so that goes to you, the department, doesn't it?
Yes, Senator.
So do you deal with that, or you have someone who deals with that?
We deal with that, yes.
Yeah, who does that for you?
Ms. Hunter was...
Dr. Hunter?
Dr. Hunter, I apologise.
Okay, so you dealt with that, Dr. Hunter?
I was on leave, but
Okay.
the team did
That's
deal
not a
with that
crime?
in my absence, yes.
Okay, your team looked after it. Okay. So the process is that the minister is obliged under the Senate rules to provide documents. You dig them up and you send them to the minister's office, do you?
Yes, Senator, and we provide advice about possible claims for PII along the way.
You give advice. Who makes the decision about what's redacted and what's not?
It's the minister's decision what she wishes to put forward to respond to an OPD.
Okay. In this particular case, this OPD was given to the media some weeks before it was given to the Senate. But that's a judgment that I imagine is out of your hands.
It's certainly not something that we're part of,
Yeah.
Senator.
So you just give the documents in their final form to the minister's office and they do the rest?
The normal course of events is that we provide the advice and the documentation. We provide that in the form of a letter from the minister to Minister Ayres, representing her in the Senate, and then Minister Ayres forwards that in due course to the tabling office.
Or to the AFR, yep. One or the other.
And the tabling office make the necessary arrangements to have it in front of the Senate.
Okay. But that's, I think you've answered my question. I just wanted to know what the process is, and it's nothing to do with you, that last piece. Okay. The funding profile, where's the funding person gone?
Sorry, so Senator, you asked me about disbursements from the fund. If you want to come back to that. So, in the life to date of the Housing Australia Future Fund facility and the National Housing Accord facility, there has been $214,654,000 of disbursements for concessional loans and $691,000 of disbursements for availability payments, specifically noting that availability payments are only paid from the point that a home is completed and enters what we call operational commencement. That is, that somebody starts living in it and therefore the availability payment is doing exactly what it says on the tin. It is being paid in return for that availability of that home for social and affordable housing.
So, in my info, page 65 said that the government was reprofiling the Housing Australia Future Fund disbursements and funding to align with the delivery model, which combined with additional support is expected to increase payments by $4.4 billion over the life of round 3, but expected to decrease payments by $742 million over the 4 years to 28-29. So what does that mean?
That would be a question for Treasury, sorry, Senator.
Senator, I can answer that. As you would be aware, there's money provisioned from time to time in contingency reserve associated with government commitments, government announcements. That's often done on a fairly preliminary estimate about the profile of disbursements. As the policy is developed further and becomes more certain, and the precise detail about timing of disbursements becomes more apparent, it's often reprofiled across the forward estimates and the medium term in exactly the way that has been done here.
Housing Australia's borrowing cap has increased.
Yes.
Has it increased from 26 to 44 billion?
Yes, Senator. That reflects the as you're aware, a part of Housing Australia's business is in the form of providing loans. Those loans have obligations and guarantees associated with them that require documentation and acknowledgement through the process set up by the the
So
Act.
you can now borrow an extra 18 billion as a result of these changes.
If I may add, sir,
It's a cap, though, right? You don't have to borrow it; it gives you a cap.
yes, and Senator, if I may, just for absolute clarity, so it's what's referred to in the investment mandate as the liability cap, and it does encompass where Housing Australia is raising capital for the bond program and the guarantee for that, but it also encompasses the future value of contracts entered into. So the availability payments, which are the 25-year funding arrangements, the primary means of funding, the total nominal value of those has to fall within the cap because it's
You've got to borrow the money. I get it.
it's not to borrow the money, Senator. It's to guarantee to third parties that is a liability that the government will meet if Housing Australia is unable to meet it.
But I thought that was a cash. I thought that was cash, not guarantees.
Sorry, Senator. Maybe I'm
I thought it was the total borrowing cap.
So
You're talking about
it's a liability cap.
liability, are you?
It's the guarantee for Housing Australia, the limit on the guarantee.
It's a guaranteed limit. Okay, so it's not necessarily cash.
It's not.
It's a contingency.
It's a guarantee that Housing Australia can enter into arrangements that are guaranteed by the government up to the value.
So where does it sit on the balance sheet?
It's not on the balance. It's not on the balance sheet of Housing Australia, Senator. It's
a liability. It's a liability, isn't it? Or is it a contingent liability?
Sorry, Senator. Are you talking about from Housing Australia or from the broader government sector?
Commonwealth.
I defer to my colleagues in Treasury in that respect.
Senator, availability payments are reflected in Commonwealth budget papers.
Sorry, it's just not clear to me whether this cap. Are we talking about a borrowing cap or are we talking about a liability?
It's a liability cap.
So it's not necessarily borrowings. It's a guarantee.
Not necessarily. Yes.
Is that right?
Senator, when so there are two parts of Housing Australia's business that are relevant, and Mr. Langford will correct me if I'm wrong. One part is Housing Australia taking on borrowings in order to provide loans to the community housing sector as part of the affordable housing bond aggregator.
Okay, even I can understand that, yes?
The second part is Housing Australia enters into long-dated agreements with market participants.
Which is a guarantee.
And there is a Commonwealth guarantee over those long-dated commitments.
Sorry,
You're saying this is an amalgam, are you?
So if I can add to Mr Rimmer's explanation, Senator, those long-dated contracts are for the payment of cash over the course of 25 years. Yeah. The value of that contract is guaranteed by the Commonwealth by virtue of the liability cap. Because Housing Australia is a corporate Commonwealth entity, third parties are not directly contracting with the Commonwealth, and in order for them to have confidence to raise money themselves, to go on and build, to do things they need to do to deliver housing, they rely on the guarantee as a means to say, well, if we can look through Housing Australia to the Commonwealth and we will know we'll be paid that cash over the course of the next 25 years. So the liability cap includes loans we are borrowing, but also those long-dated financial commitments for real cash payments that will be made over the course of 25 years.
Okay. So we're talking about a $44 billion cap, right? Which doesn't require legislation?
Sorry, Senator, I'll defer that question to Treasury.
I mean, this is just some of this stuff is so confusing. I mean, this is the trouble with these off-budget things. I mean, we're just trying to get to plain English explanations of what the taxpayer is on the hook for. It's unclear to me whether that $44 billion is. It sounds like I actually just want to know what you're doing with it. So, are you borrowing money and are you offering guarantees as part of that cap, or are you borrowing the money, or are you only doing guarantees for that amount?
So, Senator, in terms of what enables Housing Australia to do, we can borrow money under the affordable housing bond aggregator.
Yeah, which is not part of this, or is part of this?
It is part of this.
Right.
So the liability cap is an explicit guarantee to bondholders that in the event that Housing Australia defaults on its obligations to pay those bondholders, the Commonwealth guarantee can be called upon. So that's...
You're going to have to explain it again.
You're almost at time.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this
and then
spaghetti
rotate again, yeah.
situation the government's in.